Hi there, Joka here from A Pocket Full of Happiness, and in this video I'm going to show you my projects that I've created with the new Pears die set, which is this one. It's a small set that you can use to create two different pairs, and then there's the one in a Melon set that is an A2 size background or cover plate and some sentiments. So I'm starting out by putting together a bunch of these pairs, and I am adding a layer of the same color in a different shade so that the little dots have some color behind them, and I just fussy cut them. It's a simple shape. I didn't think I would need a separate die for that. And now I am putting together the leaves. I'm just trying to show every shape once I put them together. Now both of these pieces have an extra layer of white cardstock behind them, which is why you see that they are dimensional. And I'm using my tweezers to fill in those teeny tiny seeds. And I ended up layering up the stem as well, because the paper that I used, it's like a craft cardstock. It's quite thin. So yeah, that just didn't work. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm actually wearing a long sleeve sweatshirt. And now that I'm doing the voiceover, we have a heat wave. It's so hot that it's incredible. And here I was wearing sweatshirt. Crazy. Anyway, so this one is going to be like a simple, for me, cast card, because it's really just a main focal point, the pairs on it. And I'm going to use the new German sentiment set for my sentiments on these cards. And I created a bunch of little flowers that I'll add to my pairs, but otherwise it's really just a very simple design. I guess you could also just use one pair in the middle, and then it's gonna be even more cast card. I don't know. I can't make a cast card to save my life. I just can't. But this is my version of that, I guess. So I used two different greens for the leaves to use more colors and not to be so monotone, I guess. I'm trying to figure out where to put those flowers. I didn't want to die cut more for this one card. I'm going to use more on my not so cast card next. But I still, oh yeah, I know what I wanted to say, or maybe it didn't happen yet. There's gonna be a stain somewhere, and I have to cover that up, so I will have to find a solution for that. Yeah, there now, I already see it. So I don't know how that happened. In some cardstocks there are some stains, or it just happens. I don't have I don't have oily hands, so I don't know why it would happen, but anyway, I had to cover that up, so that's why I started adding enamel dots. Okay, and then my other idea is the same always. I like to create patterns with using smaller shapes. Now these shapes are not that small, but they still work. And I decided to go with an A2 size card because yeah, I didn't have that much time. So as you can see, I already needed quite a few pairs for this size as well. And because I always die cut everything, and then, you know, it's a lot of time to glue everything together. So I decided on a smaller format, basically. And then I'm trying to use different colors for the leaves, just again to have a bit of a variety there. And I'm always kind of trying to follow the shape to fill in the white space. And if that doesn't work, in this case it actually worked quite well, but sometimes it doesn't work. And if that happens, then I'm just filling up the empty space with some smaller die cuts or enamel dots, or even just, you know, dots that I use a gel pen for, and that kind of brings the whole pattern together. In this case, I'm going to use some enamel dots, but also some smaller flower that comes with the die set. And then, of course, I have to trim off the edges. And normally, not in this case, because, or maybe at the top I will have to add something, but normally I can use those pieces that I trim off to fill up the edges of the of my card. I think in this case I will not need a lot, because I already filled it quite well. But it's an easy way. You don't have to die cut or waste a whole pair for this. You can just use the pieces that you trimmed off. So, for example, there, I feel like I can use something. I have a difficulty to throw away anything, you know. So I'm trying to use whatever I can. Okay, so I'm a bit shaken up because in the previous video I missed footage. I have no idea where it disappeared, and my brain just keeps going there, how embarrassing that is. And you know, when you just cannot explain why you don't have it. I mean, I definitely recorded it, and I don't know, but unfortunately I deleted it after I edit the video. I delete the raw footage, and I cannot recover it either. So, oh, sorry, I'm a bit distracted. Okay, so back to this video. Now I'm trying to arrange my flowers, and I also am using a sentiment from the German sentiment set, and I wanted to use it wanted to add some pop of color. Obviously it's not very dark, but it's a different color that is not in my pairs. So like a light coral pink color, and I'm adding a few foam tape strips because I wanted it to pop off the background. And I will use the mustard glitter enamel dots for my flower centers, and I will still add some, I think, the peach colored enamel dots, yeah, peach colored, to fill up the white spaces. But I just want, actually it didn't bother me, the white space this time, but I wanted to add some pinkish color, and I thought that would be a good way. Now this die, I think it's very versatile. You could create rainbows and ombre color backgrounds and everything, but I wanted to create a very specific thing here, a watermelon. So for that I chose a darker green and a lighter green for my, I don't even know what the outside of the watermelon is called. Peel? I don't know. You know what I mean. So that part of the watermelon, and then the other, for the other strips, I'm going to use a bunch of different, well, these are rather coral, not so pink, but I think they work fine. And so I'm gonna go from light to dark, and I can die cut every second one, and then I'm going to have to do the other ones. And look, I messed that up, and I cannot even cover that up. A teeny tiny piece was missing. I didn't add the paper properly, so I have to die cut that again. Normally I would have tried to cover it up with something like the sentiment, but it just didn't look good in that position, so I had to, well, I wasted that paper. So this is the outer part of the melon, and then comes the inside. And I didn't do it physically, but I just did it on my computer beforehand. I also kind of made a version that looked like a lemon, you know, more with yellows and greens, and a kiwi. So I think they look fun, but then again, I just don't have enough hours in a day. So for this to look like a melon, I have some seeds. And I actually, because I was making this card together with the pair cards, I did not want to use black, but that craft color that I used on the other two cards, but it just didn't look good. So in the end, I die cut black as well. And if you see, the craft one is already glued together with white heavyweight cardstock. So I'm going to have to glue the black one on top of this to kind of recolor them, right? And they will now become pretty dimensional, because now there's 3 layers of them. So, but I don't mind. I love dimension. And so I'm going to add my sentiment with some foam tape, and I will now place the little seeds just kind of randomly, so that it looks like a melon. Why do I always say lemon instead of melon? I don't know. So there's no rhyme or reason to do this, just whatever looks good to you. And then as a final step, I'm going to use my gel, the white gel pen, to add a few little details on all the cards. Again, this is not realistic, like, you know, I mean, it's not realistic that the light comes from all kinds of direction on these things, but I just, you know, it just gives it a little bit of something. And I'll add some white to the seeds as well, because I think it just looks cute. So simple cards. Oh, there it is. So I have no idea how that happened, and now I'm going to try to cover that up. And because I'm adding more enamel dots, then for some reason I will also decide to add some white dots. I probably now in retrospect, but you know, yeah, in retrospect, I could have just added some white paint splatter. That would probably have looked better. This is more controlled, but it's also not very organic, I guess. Anyway, simple cards, but I hope I could give you some ideas with these sets. And yeah, I hope you like them. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.